Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Slowed and Reverb podcast. I'm Jonathan, and joining me are my two very good friends, Brandon and Richard.
Hello, hello. Welcome back.
Hey everybody.
And yeah, we got a nice spicy episode cooked up today. We're reviewing TYRON, the album by Slowthai. We're gonna give our thoughts on that. Maybe go over a few of the songs that we liked and disliked, and talk about the album as a whole. And then we're also going to talk about some Grammy stuff. Those are around the corner at the time of recording. And, we want to give our thoughts on the nominees, who we think should win, and the categories. But we'll get there when we get there. So, starting off, we'll talk about TYRON. You guys want to give your quick thoughts on the album before I chime in?
I'll go first. So, going into Tyron, I hadn't really listened to Slowthai. I think I've only listened to like a couple of features here and there, so I didn't really know what to expect. And overall, I think I really liked the album. There were some songs that were they kind of reminded me of a lot of other artists. But some of the songs that stood out to me were like Maza. It gave me a Playboy Cardi vibe. But that song with A$AP Rocky, I think he and Rocky both complement each other really well. Rocky's feature did not miss. It was good. Um, I really like the one song on that album. I tried it for some reason. I thought it was a sample that Kanye has used before because it sounded very Kanye-y. So I searched up the sample or whatever, but nothing came up. So, but overall, I enjoyed the album. I think for my first time listening to a Slow Thigh project, I think it was a pretty good album, and it's definitely got me interested in what he's gonna release in the future, and I might listen to his other stuff that he has. But yeah, overall, really like the album.
All right, thanks for sharing.
Oh,
Uh,
one thing
oh,
I'm gonna add, I wasn't a big fan of the Denzel Curry feature. I think it was a little bit underwhelming, so I was kind of disappointed by that. But overall, everything else was good.
all right. Thanks for sharing. Richard, do you want to give your quick thoughts before we dive in?
Yeah. So unlike Brandon, I had listened to Nothing Great About Britain, his first album, and I liked it. But there were like a couple songs that just kind of missed for me. And so going into this second album, I was really looking forward to something more polished and cutting edge from Slowthai. And the singles leading up to the album, NHS and Feel the Way, those were absolutely fantastic. I was not expecting more moodier songs coming out of him, but he really delivered on that front. And Maza and the other songs in the first half of the record are really good too. But um, I really love the later half. Just all the he really brings a great contrast to this album. So I thought it was really great.
All right. Thanks for sharing. I guess I'll give my quick thoughts and then we'll do a track by track breakdown, give our thoughts on each song. Um, all right. Well, uh, unlike the two other, people here, I didn't care much for this album at all. There were some songs that I can go back to and listen to and enjoy. Um, I don't know. Slow Tie is very, as an artist, I realize that he's creative and talented, and but I don't know, his lyrical matter just doesn't get to me. It doesn't stand out to me. It's not. I He has a nice voice for the presentation, but what he's saying doesn't resonate with me, and that might just be a me thing. But I don't really care much for what he has to say. I don't like how kind of mad libby his lyrics are. at times it's like you can put those lines in any order and the song will, still make sense. Um, and I appreciate. I'll give this album a bunch of credit here and there because I mean it wasn't bad. It's just not my favorite. Um, I liked the breakup of the discs between like the more punchy opening songs. I liked the how he kept the energetic stuff at the beginning and he kept the more moodier stuff in the back. It gives you two kind of moods in case you want to, you know, if you're not feeling very moody, you can go to the first half. Or if you're not feeling very energetic and you are feeling moody, you can go to the second half. It's a nice thing that I wish more artists did is focus their track listing in such a way that it can capture these emotions a little better. Um, Other than that, I mean there are decent songs here, but I mean again, I'm not too crazy about it. Not my favorite. But yeah. From that, I guess we'll do a track by track dive. So the first track we have 45 Smoke. This was a big opener and very powerful. I thought it was a very nice opener. Uh, what do you guys think?
I thought it was a pretty strong opener to the album. Uh, yeah, I don't know. There's not really much to say there. It's a pretty great way to start the album. Really giving it its all in the first track. One thing I thought was pretty weird was the like the baby voice towards the later half of the track. I'm like still on the fence on if I like it or not. But I don't know. Slowthai sounding like Slowthai on that one.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Strong opening. Really, what's the word? It really surprised me. I didn't expect, the first track to be that intense. Especially coming to like this as my first slow thigh project. So, but yeah, good track in my opinion.
Yeah, my only previous exposure to Slow Tie, other than this album, was the song that he did with Denzel Curry. What is it? Psycho? Psychopath? I think it's Psycho, where he has that, the one song sample with the nice trap drums and comes through with that energy. So this is what I was expecting coming in, because I came off of that song only, and I really enjoyed it. I like the energy. When Slow Tie's energetic, he comes through with a very nice energy that just gets you going. Uh, and Yeah, I liked it as an opener. It really it opened with a bang, and it gave you a reason to keep listening. Just because of how powerful it was as an opener with the booming bass and all that, and his raw vocal energy that you can hear. So I really enjoyed that track. Uh, but moving on. Next up we have Cancel featuring Skepta. I'll start here because this was my favorite song on the album by far. Uh, it kept that energy that I think Slow Tie does really well, and you know, it touched on an interesting topic. I think of being canceled. We're living in the so-called cancel culture, and it's very interesting to think about that. An action or two can lead to you losing it all, and I thought that while the lyrics don't touch too much on that idea, the hook and Skepta's part really kind of gets to that idea, and I mean, it's interesting as a concept overall, but again, the energy is great. I liked the beat a lot. Skepta, I really enjoy Skepta's music, so I really liked his, energy that he brought to this track, and you know, it's very, it's almost like a punk song in a way.
Yeah,
It, it's like a anti-culture type song, which is very weird because the music video, I watched the music video. He does a lot of culture references, like there's like a Texas Chainsaw reference, a American Psycho reference. There's lots of references. It's very interesting how the song is kind of anti-culture, and then the music video is like pro-culture. It's kind of a nice what's the word? I can't for the life of me remember that word right now. Where it cancels each other out. An oxymoron. That's what it's called. Sorry.
Yeah,
It's kind of like an oxymoron, but I mean, I like this song a lot. So, what do you guys think?
yeah, I mean, I agree with a lot of what you said there, and yeah, Skepta just absolutely knocked it out of the park with his chorus and his verse. It doesn't really feel like Slowthai's song really because it's Skepta's taken over like the majority of it, and Slowthai has one verse on it. I don't really know if I caught anything referenced by Slowthai, but eh, he's not a stranger to controversy. I think he did a performance where he like had a model of like Boris Johnson's head, I think, and there was another incident at like a music award
Yeah,
where
didn't he glass a girl or something?
did he what?
Didn't he glass a girl? He chucked a glass at her.
Did he?
Something like that. There was some thing at like the British Music Awards. I don't even know where it was, but he was like drunk on the stage and said some
Yeah.
yeah. He threw a
awful.
drink at the crowd.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that part. I knew about the girl, but not about the glass. But yeah, I'm surprised there wasn't really like I'm sure he wants to leave that behind, but in a song about cancel culture, I thought that maybe he'd make a little reference to it or something. But uh I like how you made the point of like that contrast between the lyrical content and like the video because it's more pop culture, but like Patrick Bateman isn't necessarily like uh a normal person in society, and so like I think Slow Tide sees himself as more of like an outcast. Maybe not to the degree of Patrick Bateman, but he definitely doesn't see himself as like a normal member of society. He's definitely going against the norm.
No, yeah, that's a good point. Uh, I mean, this song is very like anti culture of the time, and
Yeah,
It's very like, screw you, I'm at the top, and you
oh
can't.
yeah, it's very braggadocious. Um, it disregards everyone, but I like it's a good energy. And again, this is probably my favorite song.
Mm.
You have
I
anything more
really,
to add, Brandon? Sorry.
I was just gonna add that I really like that one line where he like compares cancel culture to like zombies because I feel like in today's age, cancel culture has like this like mob, what's it called again? Mob mentality.
mentality. Yeah,
Mob mentality where it's like, all right, let's cancel this person. It's like, wait, what are we canceling them for? Oh, about something that they said like 10 years ago. And it's like, oh, like, why are we canceling him then? Like, he's probably changed as a person like 10 years down the road, like, for example, I hate to be the guy, but, like Tyler, him saying homophobic slurs, and then like 10 years later, it turns out he's at the very least bisexual. So I just thought that one line was, stood out, it compared them to zombies and, you know, basically summed up the whole mentality of cancel culture.
Yeah, that's a good line. Thanks for pointing that out. Yeah, that's. I mean, I like the song, and it's a nice, interesting perspective on it, especially from someone who doesn't have the best media presence. Glassing a woman.
Right.
But yeah, it's an interesting song, and I mean, again, I think he said he wrote this whole album when he was in like a darker state of mind, and kind of knowing that he's grown since any past event. It's a very interesting song to have here. Uh, if the album is about growth and moving on from this dark spot. But now we got what Mazza
Mazza Mazza, doesn't matter.
whatever. It is featuring ASAP Rocky. Brandon, you said this was one of your favorite standout tracks.
Yeah, it really gave me a Playboy Cardi vibe, like probably 2018, 2017 Playboy Cardi vibe, with the ad libs in there. Um, the beat, um, ASAP Rocky, is always he's associated with Playboy Cardi, Og, all that stuff. ASAP Mob. So I think Rocky had a really good verse. He definitely shows up, shows out. I think that's really all I have to say. It's just a really nice banger.
Yeah, it's kind of all over the place. It might have been what he was going for though, because he touches on his mental state quite a bit, and I guess that would make sense for him to be bouncing here and there and everywhere during his verse. Um, what do you think, Richard?
Yeah, I mean, Rocky just nails his feature as always. Never a bad feature, unwelcome feature from Rocky. He
Yeah,
just
we
did
know
great
you
there.
like your ASAP Rocky.
Hey, number 5 on my top 5, you know? But no, he does great. Slow time, his his chorus on there, just really nice. I think dungarees is just like a really like funny word, but it fits really well in that song. And the instrumentation on that track's really good too.
Yeah, the beat. I know Brandon said it sounded like a Playboy Cardi beat. I'd tend to agree. I never thought of it like that. The beat does a good job of highlighting it. It kind of reminds me of the one song. It also had, funnily enough, ASAP Rocky and Skepta on it. What Praise the Lord?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
It kind of took me back to that vibe. I mean, it's nothing. The two songs are quite different, but I mean, it kind of had a similar vibe in that regard with the beat. But yeah, this song's okay. I I like the energy again. I really liked his. I liked the first half much more than the second personally, but this one's all right. I like this. I love Rocky's verse. I like the little pop smoke shout out. But yeah, all right. Next up, we have Vex. Interesting song. Kind of short, I thought. But what do you guys think?
Personally, this song took me a while to like get into. I think he like talks about how people are like pretending to be someone that they're not. So I think that was a good, topic, subject matter. Because I feel like in today's world, everyone like posts themselves like they portray themselves to not be someone that they are. They like to I guess flex is the term or whatever. So I think it was a really nice subject matter to talk about. Kind of like I guess the title of the song can like make a like kind of like references this whole idea of like flexing and stuff. It's a vex, it's a curse. and it like affects people because they're like, oh, I gotta I gotta spend money, I gotta be just like them. And it's like you don't really have to because they're just like faking it. They're just a bunch of fake people.
Makes sense that you say that. It's about like flexing on social media. I didn't actually piece that together myself. But I can see it looking at the lyrics here and thinking about it. I could see where that comes in. What do you think, Richard?
I didn't notice the that parallel either. I just figured that he was like pretty miffed, pretty upset in the song. The chorus at the beginning and throughout the song is just really catchy, and he he switches up his flow like later in the track when he's talking about like letting the rope swing. I'm not really sure if I'm like a huge fan of that, but it was a interesting addition to the track. And I think that the transition from this song to the next song, "What," is really slick. I didn't even notice that it had happened until it happened.
Yeah, let's go ahead and talk about what was this the weird interlude? Yeah, it was the
Uh,
Yeah,
weird.
was it? I thought it was the next track.
No, what was the weird interlude that came out of nowhere? I wasn't expecting an interlude type song. I mean, I don't look at the like times or the feature list or anything. I just kind of go as I go when I listen to an album for the
mhm.
first time. So, and I've listened to it a few times after just to prepare for this, but I it was kind of weird. It in a way it broke up the flow of the album a lot, and I kind of wish it came. I kind of wish that Vex and this, because you did say it transitioned well, and I agree. But I kind of wish that it came near the end of the first half, because that would have been a nicer segue. I think personally.
I I kind of agree, but I think that Play with Fire is really good at transitioning towards the later half, especially at the end of Play with Fire, which I'll touch on later.
I guess you're kind of right. I don't know. I'm sure there's a reason that he made the track list the way it was, and I think it flowed decently well as is. But the interlude kind of took me out of it for a sec, personally.
I didn't care much for the interlude. It was just whatever.
I I really liked it, and I wish that it was longer. But
Lots of these
so
songs are short, which is a trend recently, I think.
yeah, I mean it's probably for streaming, but I mean I don't know. I don't think there's a real need to have a long song if you can get your ideas in like a 2 minute, 3 minute span. I don't see a problem with that.
Okay. Well, we'll move on to the next song. Dead. Any thoughts on this one, guys?
What was the song again? How'd it go? It was like,
Like the beginning was like, "Take away my flesh, but they'll never take my mind."
oh, okay. Like, gotta re-listen real quick.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Oh,
You want to go, Richard?
yeah, sorry, didn't mean to interrupt. Uh, yeah, I thought the opener was really solid. Um, I like the monotone presentation of it. But it's not my favorite delivery from Slowthai himself. I think this is probably one of the weaker songs on the album, but it's not like terrible by any means. Just not my personal favorite.
No, I agree. This is one of the low points for me.
Yeah, it's pretty forgettable.
Like I kind of appreciate the concept that he's going for, but again, I don't know. Slow Tie has this weird disconnect between his choruses and his lyrics, in my opinion. It's like this chorus goes one way, and then I don't get where his verses are going. Again, they're very Mad Libby. You could put this verse on any of his songs and it'd probably work. But like, yeah, I didn't care for this one. The beat's okay. I just don't care for what he's saying. Like again, it's just like, okay, neat verse, I guess. And Brandon said it was forgettable, which, I mean,
I
that's kind of rough.
well, it's not. I didn't mean it like a bad thing. It's just like me personally, I didn't find anything interesting about the song. I mean, I like the concept, like you said.
I'd take bad over forgettable if I was an artist, to be honest.
My bad. I didn't mean to like.
Well, I know that. Well, it's not like he's gonna listen to this and be like, "Oh, this random kid from Florida said my album sucked." Like, I doubt that's gonna happen.
Because
But-
even like, if you're a stan of like a certain artist, like there are some songs that you might not even like about your favorite artist. So
No, yeah, I have songs my favorites that I will never touch with a 10-foot pole. But
yeah, no. I mean, it's not like
But
I didn't watch this, but
that's
like,
like, I don't know. I still. This is a tangent. This is completely a tangent, but I'm
Yeah,
gonna bring it
okay.
up anyway. They say that the opposite of love is not hate; it's indifference, right?
Mhm.
And that's where when someone says something's forgettable, that's like the ultimate insult, in my opinion. That means that that song did not even make an impression on me. I don't think it's good or bad. It's just forgettable. It is. I am indifferent to that song. It is. I'd almost rather someone say it's bad because at least that had an impact on that person to where they were like, "Wow, this sucks." So I mean,
You got me reevaluating my vocabulary.
I mean, that's just how I think of it. I mean, feel free to chime in, agree, disagree, but
Oh yeah, I kind of see where you're coming from.
yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, you can at least get what I'm talking about. I mean, you can think it's forgettable. I'm not gonna care. I think it's forgettable. And I listened to it, what, earlier today, yesterday.
Yeah, I listened to it 2 times and
Yeah, I mean, there's no better way to say it. It's fine. I don't like his verse. It just I don't get what he's going for here at all. It's just I know Cesar had this critique of Slowthai that at the time I was like, well, I guess. He's like, people don't listen to Slowthai because he has the British accent and it sounds nice, and he doesn't actually say anything, which I can. I didn't want to agree because I mean I liked Psycho at the time, and I liked most of the music that I heard from him since then. And this album isn't terrible, but like this song is what that embodies essentially. It's like, here's my British voice doing the verse here.
yeah, it kind of goes in hand with like what you said, like how you could just like rearrange the bars or whatever if it still sound the same. So
Yeah. I mean, Richard, are we off base? Are we stupid?
I mean, you guys are entitled to your own opinions, you know? I mean, I will say this. I'm not really the type of person to really delve into the lyrics myself. I just go off of what sounds good to me. You know, Sotai could be talking in sim language for all I care, but like the song, sounds like good to me. So I don't really
That's fair.
like mind it.
That's fair. I mean, we each have things that we value more when listening to a song. But,
Exactly.
that's what makes us so great. We can talk about it.
Yep.
and not feel judged.
Oh, we're judging. All right, let's move forward. Play with Fire. Richard, you said you really liked this as a transition.
Oh yeah, like this is still what's the word I'm looking for? Like really punchy to warrant its place in the first half, but it's also kind of it slows down a little bit to really transition into the later half of the album. The opening, Play with Fire, that opening is just I don't know, it's really great. It really sets the mood for the whole track, and this is where he starts to get more introspective on himself and how he feels about himself as a person. Even though like everything feels really chill throughout the song, like he is just drowning in his own thoughts, and that kind of resonates with me. The outro especially, where it's just like himself talking over each other or talking over himself, that uh I feel that. Like I get up in the morning and I go take a shower, and all the thoughts, like everything that I have to do or that I've been thinking about, just floods my head, and like I can't seem to stop myself from like disassociating from that and just like just like emptying my mind. And like that outro to me is like what I feel sometimes, like in the morning or just throughout the day before I go to bed. He has some good advice, I think, on his outro. The well, love the world for its flaws, and you'll never be disappointed. That's a interesting perspective to have as somebody who looks at the current state of the world and is like constantly disappointed. Sometimes a bit of a change in perspective can really it could really help um, how you view life, and do what you want to do, not what's expected of you. I mean that is absolutely true. You should do everything you can for yourself, to better yourself and to make yourself happy. And some of the conflicting emotions, I like that one where he's like that one line where he's like, I just want to make you proud. Sometimes I hate myself, I hate you. That uh, that just I get those conflicting feelings about people sometimes, and I think everybody does. And it's just nice to see that portrayed so like well in a track, and especially given the context of like the later half of the album where he's thinking about like when he's thinking about his life more and what he's doing. So yeah, that track is like, I think that track is like the key to the album, to the later half anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you want to talk,
Uh,
Brandon?
yeah. I agree with Richard. I think it's a really good transition to the second portion of the album. You know how it's split. I think it's a really great transition. It's pretty relatable. And it's always nice to, I guess, listen to rappers in their most vulnerable positions and, um, just relate to them. Because they're human beings as well. They're not like some sort of higher being, unless unless something comes out and like one of them turns out to be. But regardless, it's always nice to have relatable songs. And it's a great transition to the second half of the album. It kind of like slows down the pace from coming off strong in the beginning of the album, to just the rest of the album, which is like much slower paced.
Yeah, I like it as a transition. Uh, it's definitely one of the higher points of the album for me personally. I like the chorus a lot. It's kind of catchy. Um, beats nice. Uh, again, it does. It's on the first half, so it kind of has that nice little energy, but it also starts to mellow out and get into that second half, which, although I didn't prefer the second half, I do like it as a transition. I'd probably retract my statement about the interlude. Now I think about it, this is probably the best transition you could have. Maybe put the interlude before this track. I don't know. The interlude did kind of take me out at around the first time I listened to it, but this song pretty decent actually. One of the highlights of the album, in my opinion. Uh, what's next? We
I
got I
tried.
Tried. I think you said something about this one, Brandon, being one of your favorites.
Yeah, I tried. I just really liked it for the production because it reminded me of Kanye for some reason. I thought he sampled like I thought like because I looked up the sample for the song or whatever, and I was like, because I was like, I swear I've heard this like sample before in like a Kanye song, but nope, it's the first time the sample has been used at least in a popular song or a big song. But yeah, I just really liked the song for the production. Really gave me Kanye vibes.
Oh yeah, this was a production highlight. Uh, he's all right on the song, but I really thought that this was one of the better beats here. It's very enjoyable. Richard, do you have any thoughts on I Tried?
Yeah, I when I first listened to this song, I didn't catch the intro at the beginning where where the sample at least is like, saying, that he'd try to take his life, and I just didn't realize how dark this song, really was, and it really sets the mood for the later or for the last half of the album. Yeah, just another deep cut here at the beginning when he's saying that he feels like he's sinking all the time. That just hurts. And this song really is just uh, giving like having hope that we can stay afloat and take on another day.
Yeah. I like his vulnerability on this song. I think you said about the last song that it's nice to for artists to be relatable like this, and that they go through a lot. Uh, it is very dark, and it's the beat perfectly captures that feeling, I think. But yeah, I mean, I didn't mind the song. It's not my favorite, but I really like the beat on it. But that's pretty much all I can really say about it. But next song is Focus. I'm gonna start here just to get my condescending viewpoint out of the way. I did not like this song. Oh man.
Really?
I do not like this one. It's just kind of there. It's not very good for me. I don't know. It doesn't scratch any itch for me, if that makes sense. Nothing would make me want to listen to this song by itself. Uh, it's just not for me. That's all I can really say about it. I did not care for this one. What about you guys? Am I wrong?
Well,
Stupid? All the above?
I'm gonna go after you because I agree. I don't think he says anything worthwhile in this song. It's like you said, it's just kind of there, you know. It's just a song that is in between I tried and terms.
Man, you guys are rough on Slowthai on this one.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
I thought it was a great song. Kenny Beats did a really good job with the production on this one.
Oh yeah, I will say that. I think the beat was good. Kenny Beats, one of my favorite producers. So.
I didn't like the beat that much, and I like Kenny. I,
Yeah.
I don't know. This song did nothing for me. It might just be me. I might be a jaded old head. I need to go listen to Rapper's Delight for the 1200th time. I don't know.
You gotta get in touch with your inner Zoomer.
Apparently, because I don't know. I didn't care. I didn't care for this one at all.
Yeah, I mean, other than production, I don't. I mean, and Slowthai, I thought he did really well with his performance on this song, but I don't really have much else to say here either.
Well, we'll move on to another one of my favorites on the album. Although not for the reason you'd think. Terms. What do y'all think? Brandon, you said you didn't like the Denzel bit.
Yeah, the Denzo was underwhelming. I expected like a full like rap version. him doing a bridge. That's about it.
No, that's my. It's like it's like getting like RZA on what's the one on Dark Twisted Fantasy? Oh,
um,
you know the one.
it's gonna kill me. I gotta figure it out.
I know I'm about to die. It's got Sci-Hi. It's got the whole roster, and they all drop versus. Oh gosh, it's stuck in my tip of my tongue. Uh, Look it up. You know what I mean, though. It's like getting
Yeah,
RZA. So appalled. That's the one. I'm stupid.
yeah. So appalled.
It's like getting RZA on So Appalled and just kind of making him do like one little bitty part. It's like, okay, you got RZA, one of the Wu Tang members that their legendary career, and you have him spit 4 lines. Very cool. Uh, Denzel isn't to that level of like reverence yet, but I mean,
But like, he's
he's.
got skill, and
I like Denzel a lot. He is just shy of my like top 5 like personal favorite list that I gave. He was like a runner up from that. And seeing the featuring Denzel Curry and knowing because I listened to Psycho first from Slowthai to get introduced to him. I like that song and that has Denzel on it and Denzel kills it. So I come into this thinking, oh, Denzel's gonna kill it. It's gonna be like I know people always think Denzel just puts out these bangers, but he does really well on these kinds of songs too. He did really good on the Flatbush Zombies track uh, on their first studio album, and it's very slowed down and emotional. So I was very disappointed with the Denzel feature also. Not because it was bad, but because it's so minimal and underutilized. Oh, sorry. You get back to what you're going on about.
yeah, I was just gonna say, I don't know. Like, I get it. The song, like the album is so time, and like it's about him. Like he shouldn't be outshined by his features, but at the same time, like your features should do more than just the bridge. Or like, well, okay. I feel like I don't know. I feel like Denzel should have had a bigger part in it. That's all. That's just my one critique of that song. Cause like I know like I said like oh if you're gonna have a feature they should do something big. But like sometimes features can I don't know. I was just me being a Denzel fan. I was just a little bit upset that Denzel didn't get to do much on this song.
Yeah, uh, I like this song. Not, I do agree that the Denzel. It's like a tease having that Denzel in the feature list, but um, I really liked the hook, and I thought that this was some of Slow Tie's best stuff on here. The beat is catchy, it's smooth, it's nice. I really like this song. What do you think, Richard?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you there. Really smooth production, and I think Dominic's chorus is just wonderful. It's so catchy, and his performance on it is just I don't know, it just elevates the song. I'm not much of a Denzel fan. No ill will against the guy. I just really haven't listened to much of his work. But I think it's funny that you guys. Well, it's not funny, but it's interesting. You guys want more out of this, feature, like a verse. But I wonder how many like another example of like somebody big who has like a small role in a song. I think of Beyonce in Pink and White, who just harmonized with the instrumental. I just think another big name that had a really small part in a song, but like it elevated that song. It elevated Pink and White, and I think even though Denzel's given a small part, I don't think it really detracts from the song's quality at all.
Yeah, I
But
was gonna. Uh,
I'm not a Denzel stan, so I wouldn't. I'm not like disappointed, I guess.
Yeah, when you were talking about big name features or whatever, and like how they don't get to do much, I thought of Pink and White, and I was like, oh, shoot, they're gonna be like, oh, well, what about Beyonce on Blonde or whatever? So I was like, shoot, let me how do I phrase this? But yeah, I see that. That's why I kind of like stopped and like thought for a second because like how am I gonna word this? Um, but yeah, I don't know. I just think Denzel's presence or like didn't add or retract anything from that song. He's just kind of there.
Yeah, it's like a tease. It's not bad. Don't get me wrong. It doesn't. Again, it doesn't detract like you said. Um, but it's like a tease for Denzel fans. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
But moving on from that, we got Push. What do you guys think about this song?
This is this is without a doubt my favorite song on the album. Deb Never's vocals are really beautiful, and it's really her opening to the song is just it's really nice. This song has really helped me like calm me down after I've had like some stressful days, and I've had some stressful days within these past couple of weeks, and and Push just Deb's vocals at the beginning just really like are they're just very calming, very serene, and she you know talks about how you gotta wait for the calm after the storm before you know just before you break down. And then that song's not just Deb, it's Slowthai as well, and his performance on that song is really great. I really Yeah, I don't know. He has a line, when push comes to shove, you gotta push. You can't give up on when you're having what you feel like is your worst day, and that line really resonated with me just because with the work recently, I've been feeling a lot more stressed out, and it's like I always I feel like I just want to give up, but this song is kind of like a reminder to me, like I gotta keep trying no matter what, because it's always gonna get better.
That's a good connection. Um, I really like um Deb Never's intro. I can't say it's my favorite song. I like the message though, but other than that, it's sadly it's one of those songs that are just there for me.
Yeah, and that's fine. We all make different connections with songs, so
Yeah, this is one of the few songs on here that I actually enjoy what he's saying. You know, it's a very personal song and a very motivational song in the same sense. And I actually really enjoy his lyrics here for once. Well, not for once, but you know, I actually really enjoyed what he was actually putting in this song. I like the I like how personal it is, how down to earth it is. It's very human in that regard, and it sounds pretty good as well. I'd have to say. Next up, NHS. Uh, what do you guys think about this one?
Uh, I hate to be that guy, but I watched Fantano's review on it, and when he said it sounds really Brockhampton-y, I was like, yeah, I hear it. Like the pitched up vocals or whatever really reminded me of Brockhampton.
He watches Fantano. Oh no.
Ugh. But yeah, um, I actually like the song though. I like the pitched up vocal. But the second he said it, it sounds like Brockhampton. That's all I could think of.
What do you think, Richard?
It's I think this was the first single for TYRON, and this this really helped me set expectations for the whole album. The chorus is really sticky. Like the pitched up vocals definitely helps. You know, the Brockhampton boys knew what they were doing with the pitched up vocals because like that stuff just kind of sticks in my head. And he has some really good lines on here. Like one of the first ones where he talks about you'll always be chubby if you know suck in your stomach when you look in the mirror because like we need to accept our truths.
That line
And
hits me harder than anyone would know.
yeah, I mean, yeah, absolutely. I think we all, maybe not all of us, but you know, there are some things that we'd want to change about ourselves. You know, for you and me, Jonathan, it might be our weight or our body fat, and it's just
Man, what
like,
are you talking about? I see you posting those Snapchats of you flexing in the mirror. Get out of here.
listen, I might have the muscle, but my stomach is still a little out there. You know, I wish I could have like more visible abs and like a more toned body.
Hey, you must
For
be
me, I'm
swole.
I'm the opposite. I have like a really flat stomach. I have like abs visible, but
Yeah.
like when you look at my arms, there's like no meat to them. I got amp bites for biceps, pretty much.
Bro, I got the worst of both worlds. I got no arms and a big tummy. I got that goblin build, bro. I got the goblin build.
Oh my god.
But you got the ice though. Let's not forget the chain.
Yeah, the drip. Let's not
Yeah,
forget that.
money solves all problems, fellas. That's the takeaway from this podcast.
Look at Rick Ross.
Exactly.
Look at Rick Ross and
Whoa.
DJ Khaled.
Uh,
No, this song's okay. It's okay. That's all I can really say about it. I liked what he's getting at for the most part. I hate the Rick and Morty line.
yeah.
Oh
Oh
my
yeah.
gosh, I hate the Rick and Morty. Why does no rapper should mention Rick and Morty ever? I think that's like a -5 to any street cred possible if you mention Rick and Morty. It's like okay. And then Lil Wayne without codeine. I hate that line.
Yeah.
Just keep pushing him into his seizures, please. Please just keep making him have seizure after seizure. That's what we need. Gosh. Uh, those two lines next to each other just take this song from like okay to like why. I don't care for the chorus. I know you zoomers and your pitchy vocals are like, oh boy, I love it. But not me.
I
Sorry.
don't. I
Sorry,
don't know.
folks.
There's
I mean,
something.
that's fine.
There's something about pitched up vocals that like are just like so
They're
addicting. Like
not
with that.
bad. I like the Brockhampton songs. I don't like it here though, personally.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just it.
I mean,
It's
Alvin and
addicting.
the Chipmunks, you know.
Yeah, they were ahead of the time, boys.
So next podcast we'll be discussing which chipmunk had the best head.
Yes, please. Why is it not Simon?
No, I
It's
refrain from
totally,
answering.
it's totally Theodore. All right, moving forward. What's the next one?
Feel away.
Feel away. Uh, interesting song. I thought more interesting cuts. I thought. What do you guys think?
Um, yeah, it's an okay song. I kind of like lost interest towards the end of the album. Not that like it's a bad thing. Like,
No, that's fair criticism. If it can't hold your attention, that's something to bring up. Then go for it.
oh yeah, I guess because like it just I don't
We
know.
are critics here. We don't care what people think when we say these things. Okay, just speak your mind. We're fine. No one's judging except us.
I don't know. I just didn't. The album didn't stick to me much after NHS or whatever.
Well, there's two songs.
Yeah, it's just two songs, so not bad. What about you, Richard? Since you like the album a lot.
I loved Feel Away. I'm not the biggest fan of James Blake, but I thought that his performance here was really nice.
No, yeah, that's the my favorite part of this song.
Yeah. I mean, it's really sad. It's nice and slow and moody, and it's really great. This was the second single that came out, I think, for the rollout of this album, and yeah, I was really impressed with this one too.
Okay. Uh, last cut on the album, and we'll talk about the Grammys just a tad, not too long. ADHD. This kind of sums up the album. It's about his mind state. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think it's I mean, granted I kind of lost interest, but I think it's a good wrap up. Kind of like the title ADHD, the first part of the album was like all over the place. And not all over the place as in like it was disorganized, but rather like the energy of the songs. It made you want to, just like for example that one punk song, Cancelled. It just made you want to like revolt or whatever. And then like towards the second half of the half, it's like, okay, now I'm like calm. I'm like, thinking of all this stuff. So I just think it's a good wrap up. Um, Not one of my favorite songs on this album, but decent closing to the album.
Yeah, I would. It's a good closer. I like the hook on this one, or the chorus, I guess. That's pretty catchy, and I think that this song is it's kind of like you mentioned the ADHD parallel to the entire album. I think that it comes back to this song as well, where the first half is pretty contained, and then he just like explodes at the end after the phone call interlude. It's a pretty dark song. He talks about, taking his own life and just how he's been depressed and feels like he's trapped. But the the ending feels really hopeful for him. And I mean, he said it himself after this album's come out that like it saved him. So I think this only means good things for him in the future. It's a good closer for sure.
I like it as a wrap up. I wouldn't call it a good closer personally. I feel like a closer to be good and impactful, it has to have that impact. And this one didn't really have as much punch as I'd like personally. I think it was a decent wrap up, but it
Yeah.
doesn't it doesn't put the like period on the end of the album like I would enjoy from lots of the albums that I like. Um, but I do think that it does a good job of wrapping things up. So,
Yeah, that I think that's more accurate. I get yeah, because closer doesn't imply something more powerful, and I think feel away would fill that, but yeah, you're right. It just wraps up the subject matter pretty well.
but all right, y'all want to give an arbitrary score to it that no one will care about?
Um, I'll give it since I'm drinking Sprite right now. I'll give it 6 Sprites out of 10, or stars if you want to change it.
What do you
It's
think,
a, it's a
Richard?
decent album.
You
No,
gonna
Jonathan, I want to hear yours first.
you mine?
Oh
Hmm.
no,
Yikes. Okay, I'm gonna give it a nice like 47 out of 100.
Fellows,
he's a
I'm
Metacritic.
sorry. Yeah, I
Metacritic.
got I got that Metacritic score, bro. No, I mean, there's some good stuff here. There's some good stuff, but as an album, I wouldn't want to come back and listen to the whole thing. I kind of dreaded the fact that you guys picked this one because that meant that I had to listen to it again. I mean, it is what it is, you know. It's like,
Yeah.
oh gosh, I have to listen to this thing again, and it's not a long album, but the fact that it's not long and I don't want to listen to it again, kind of like is a tell. I mean, there's some decent stuff here. I'll definitely come back to Canceled, and I'll definitely come back to the what is it, the Dominic Fike one. I don't remember what it's called.
Terms.
Terms. That's the one. Thank you. I'm bad with song names. I'll definitely come back to like things like those, but the rest of it, I don't know. It's just so. It's either not for me. Maybe I'm not the target audience. I don't know. I'm not the target audience in most of the songs I listen to, but it's just I don't get the feeling for this one as I would from other projects personally. So yeah, 47, 4.7. What do you want to call it? Just around a little less than half, I'd say. What about you, Richard? Give me your 7 out of 10 score or whatever you rate it.
No, he's gonna give it a 9 out of 10.
Yo, Brandon is right on the money. I was gonna give it a 9 out of 10. Yep.
Really?
I
Wow.
I've been playing this album like on repeat, like since
Yeesh.
it's come out. It's really something else to me.
If there's one thing that this podcast is gonna do for you, Richard, me and Brandon are about to like get you on some like albums that you can't put down, and you're gonna come back to us and be like, huh?
Maybe.
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 No promises, but I mean,
It's a coin toss, honestly.
I mean, I know we'll listen to Dial It at some point. I'm gonna give it a solid like 3. You know, like it's
Dang!
No.
You
I
don't like
haven't listened to
Dylan?
it. I haven't listened to it.
It's
Oh,
pretty
okay.
good, actually. I have to say, I actually really like Dial-It. I'm not, and you know, I'm big on the like the old school and the like lyrical stuff, but Dial-It is like a guilty pleasure. All right. Well, you guys want to run over the Grammys real quick? Just some brief discussion, maybe 10 minutes.
Yes, let's do it.
All right. We'll wrap this up with the Grammys. We'll each give a song recommendation, and then we'll call it a podcast episode. So Grammys, what are we thinking? Alfredo gonna take it all? What we got?
I really hope Gibbs takes it this year for best rap album. I don't know if he submitted Bandana for the Grammys. I don't know if he submitted or if it just didn't get nominated.
I think the time period lapsed on Bandana, but also he likes Alfredo more.
Yeah, and Alfredo was a good project. I liked it. So I hope he gets a Grammy, finally recognized for his work, even though it's like, screw the Grammys or whatever. But so it's nice to be recognized, and I hope, yeah, I hope Alfredo takes it. Uh, do you want to go by category or just,
We probably won't get in every cat. If you have some broad thoughts like, "Oh, I hope this takes this," you can throw that in. I mean, it's not like we're, you know.
honestly, yeah, because I don't really care about the other nominations. I just really care that Gibbs takes best rap album of the year or rap album of the year. Yeah, and
Yeah,
also the box is probably gonna win.
the
Yeah.
box. Yeah, the box might win. Yeah. I don't know. I like. I hope Alfredo wins. It's my favorite album there. I wouldn't mind seeing any of them win, to be honest. The fact that Royce got nominated is interesting because I'm a big Royce fan, but the allegory was not for me. He had an anti-vax line on there, which is kind of nasty.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's.
I
And
mean,
I mean, coming from his perspective, I can see it. He has a child with autism, and the history of Tuskegee experiment, black people getting vaccinated with, and they're not really vaccinated, they just
yeah.
get infected. It's nasty, and I can kind of see where he's coming from with that perspective. But on the other hand, you have a very dangerous culture that you're leaning into that could kill people. So
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I think Gibbs had a anti-vax line too.
he did too, but I don't know. It's hard. That's a weird topic because again I get the perspective, but on the other hand, it's
Yeah.
like, come on. But I mean, I wouldn't mind any of these winning. Uh, as for the other categories, don't really care much. It'd be funny to see. I think this list at least says "Bop" by DaBaby
Yeah.
is in there. That'd be fun to see win. It'd be great for Deep Reverence to win. I think Big Sean's Detroit 2 was fantastic, and I kind of wish I put it instead of King's Disease on my album of the year list. Looking back at it,
Mhm.
um, and especially that track alone, that track carried that album so hard in my book because I keep going back to Deep Reverence and hearing that Nipsey verse gives me chills. What else is on here? I mean, album of the year. You got Post Malone here. I kind of
Yeah.
hope he takes it just because all these other albums suck.
Yeah.
Besides Janae, she's great. She could take it. Dua Lipa's alright too.
The
Um,
week was fine.
Record of the year. What's Oh, it's just song.
Yeah, it's song.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Uh, my guess is Billie Eilish takes it. I could see
Yeah.
Megan taking it, but I doubt it. It's the Grammys. They're gonna go with the white girl.
Yeah.
Cock to Pimp a Butterfly was snubbed.
Best new artist. I would love to see Phoebe Bridgers take it. She is phenomenal. Megan probably deserves it, but Phoebe Bridgers is, oh my gosh, her music is great. What do you think, Richard? Do you have any thoughts on the Grammys?
Man, I mean, nobody that I listen to primarily has released anything that. Yeah, nobody I've listened to has released anything that would get nominated. So I mean, Frank already said, no, like he just hates the Grammys. Tyler said that the urban category was their way to categorize Black people music. So I'm not sure if he'll come back. Gambino didn't release a very notable album last year, so not surprised that he's not nominated for anything. So I don't know.
I will say we better see Kanye West win Best Christian Album.
Oh, is he nominated?
Yep, Jesus is
Oh, yeah,
King
yeah.
is nominated.
Yes.
After
He
he
needs
peed in a
this.
Let's go.
Wait, that's right. He did that, and yet they still nominated him.
Yep.
Was it before? No, right?
No, he peed on his Grammy, remember? Or one of
Yeah,
them.
yeah,
He has
but
like,
I'm thinking, did he do this before or after he got nominated?
this was way before. This was before.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
Last thing. What do you guys think about The Weeknd? I mean, he clearly got snubbed here,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
but he's coming out with a full-fledged boycott, pretty much. What do you guys think about that? Good? Bad? Maybe?
I think it's a good thing because honestly, the Grammys, it's mostly on like it's I don't want to say it's like because to like they chose that's so infamous. They chose what was his album called?
What?
Macklemore's
The Heist? They
his
chose The Heist over Good
yeah,
Kid,
Heist.
Mad City.
Yeah, and ever since then, like the Grammys have been going down. It's mostly on based on who makes the bigger number instead of like actual talent and like the projects that they put out. And I like they always miss like good albums. And they just like nominate people like what year was that when Cardi B won?
Was it last year?
No, that's
No,
too soon.
last year was Tyler. Tyler won.
He didn't win
But
rap album of the year, did he? No, he just
Didn't he just
wait,
perform?
was it?
It was a no, it was like a 2 years ago where she won Rap Album of the Year over, I think, Astroworld? I do not
I'd
remember. My
argue
memory.
she deserved it.
Uh,
I would argue Cardi B deserved it.
I don't know, but
That
I think
that
it.
album was everywhere and pretty much reinvented rap music for the time being. Like, just think about how big WAP is
That's
and
true.
how
Yeah.
powerful of a statement. Like, how many women rappers have risen since she did that? Like, I'd argue she deserves it.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. I guess.
I think. I mean, I don't like the Grammys. I think that they're very racist and very stupid
Oh
and
yeah.
don't have an actual ear for music. It's a popularity contest. But then again, I see that they're kind of trying to change that perspective. They're actively going out and picking like random album, not random, but like to the average listener, how many people knew Royce da 5'9" made the Allegory last year? Did either of you even know that?
I know who
No.
he is, but I don't know anybody.
Exactly. And I mean, it's a decent album. I like the album, other than the anti-vax song. It was good, but it does show that they're looking past um sales, or at least trying to. Maybe it's just for appearances, even. But it shows that they're at least listening to the criticism, which might just be me giving too much credit to the powers that be there. But whatever. I like the move. I think it raises more awareness to how biased the awards are. Because again, the weekend got snubbed hard. But I don't know. I think that the Grammys are at least listening to the criticism, whether it's just for appearances or they actually care. But it's not my call to make. There's so many people that it doesn't matter. But yeah.
Uh, It's. I just yeah, I agree with the whole like they're racist because they made that whole like urban category. Like, what the heck? They should just trying to say the word.
Yeah, right. And I'm glad, somebody, Tyler, Grammy winner, and he immediately calls them out for doing something like that. Just
Oh yeah,
incredible.
they are not. Well, it's because a bunch of old white dudes are on the board. But
Yeah, exactly.
well, if
It's
we
not a
say
rap album.
urban, we can get around the labels.
Igor is not a rap album. Did not go into this thinking it's a rap album. They put it on best rap album of the year. Like, oh, did you not read the the cover?
All right. Well, let's wrap up. We'll give a song recommendation to all of you guys. I'll go first just because I have it fresh in my mind. My recommendation to y'all, you two in the audience, uh, I would highly recommend you check out Freddie Gibbs' "Gang Signs," the song they put out recently with Schoolboy Q. It's got this nice jazzy, funky beat, and it's not anything what you'd expect a Freddie Gibbs Schoolboy Q song to sound like. You'd think that they'd be yelling over some hard ass beat, but no, they come out with this funky little jam. And I love it. I love driving around to it with my windows down. It's so fun. What about you guys? You guys got a song that you guys can think of?
Yeah. Well, I saw this pop up on my Twitter feed the other day. Backpack by Flo Milli. She samples the Backpack song from Dora the Explorer, and it is like the best like minute of like to listen to. It's really great. And the music video for it is just even better. I definitely recommend that. It's just a great song.
I guess I'll go next. Wait, I'm the last one. Duh. Since we talked about how like the female rappers are getting up there, uh, I've been listening to this one female rapper, BK the Rula. She's really good. I love her music, and I'd recommend listening to C4. I think that's probably my favorite song on her album Love Santana. So yeah, C4 by BK the Rula.
All right. Thanks for the recommendations, and thanks to everyone who's listening. We hope to keep doing these, and I hope you'll tune in next time. We'll probably review another album and maybe talk about some other current event stuff, depending on what happens. I think the Grammys will have happened by then. We'll probably talk about the winners or something. But yeah, stay tuned, and thanks for joining us. See ya.
See you guys.
You're